Hey everybody, and welcome to Win Stupid Prizes, the show where we ask the questions that nobody thought were worth asking. I'm Eddie, and I'm joined today by three people who have promised to make absolutely no jokes this episode. And they are Bear.
I'm thrilled to be here today.
Jamie.
Hey, love and life.
And our judge this episode is Paul.
Why did I sign up for this?
Excellent. Thanks, guys, for being here. Can tell you're all thrilled to be here. Paul, as our judge, what questions do you have for us today?
So, my career's gone downhill a bit since I started off being Dark Lord Pwal, and I've had to sort of...
That's why you signed up for this.
Yeah, that was the main reason why I signed up for this. I used to be, dealing with major heroes like, Superman, Black Adam.
Hey.
But now
Morbius.
I've realised I have to deal with more grounded heroes, and I need to do some research. And I'm aware that there is a new Spider-Man film coming out called hang on. Is it just Enter the Spider-Verse 2? I don't know.
It's Across the Spider-Verse?
Cross the Spider-Verse.
Yeah, the last one was Enter the Spider-Verse.
Yeah.
So the question I want asking is, what Spider-Man would you add to the next film?
What? So do you mean like Tobey Maguire, for example?
What? Tobey Maguire's Spider-Man?
Or does Tobey Maguire the man?
Tobey Maguire. I mean, both work quite well as far as I'm concerned.
Tobey Maguire, famous actor, just in Spider-Man.
Turns up at the scene of the crime, he's like, there's no special effects to get me through this, what am I going to do?
That's exactly it, right? The whole film is heavily animated. It's an animated film, is what I mean.
Right, yeah.
And so, at some point, they open a door and just a regular man who's clearly just in front of a green screen.
He doesn't even get a portal opened up by a small child. No, he just opens the door.
No, he just walks through a door.
The other thing is, like, all the different Spiders-men are just talking around like, oh, how are we going to deal with this problem? And he's just like, well, from my experience on the set of Spider-Man's 1 to 3, from my knowledge of what Spider-Man is as a character, I think he would have done this. And they're like, thanks, Toby. Let's do something else.
And he's like, oh, no, I just asked Sam Raimi when I needed to know what to do. He told me. Like, how am I going to know?
I always did see Tobey Maguire as quite a character actor, so I think he's just been in character for the last 15 years.
Oh, method actor.
Oh, right, yeah.
Right. Or do you mean he's been in character as Tobey Maguire?
Or he just like, he keeps pausing, like they're like, quick, we've got to save these civilians. He's like, all right, give me a moment, collect myself. Get into character.
Get smacked in the side of the head. Like, why didn't you use your Spidey senses?
Yeah, all the Spider-Men have just actually gone off to save the day, and he's just like, okay, I'm ready to feel the role.
Or do we get Spider-Man 3 Emo Spider-Man?
Oh.
Sorry, Emo Tobey Maguire.
Yeah.
Or just dancing down the street being an asshole.
Dancing and beating random people up just because he wants to seem cool.
That whole scene, in that part of my youth, that scene stood out as like the most mockable part of any movie I had ever seen to date.
Yeah, they referenced it in the last Spider-Man Into the Spider-Verse movie, because it's that much of a meme.
And in the years since it's come out, has your opinion changed?
I appreciate it a little more now, like unironically.
So not a lot is what I'm hearing.
Back then it was just like, this is bad, let's make fun of it. Now it's like, this is bad, I'm glad they did it.
That is true. I have that opinion of films now too.
The problem I see with bringing Tobey Maguire or Tobey Maguire's Spider-Man into this is some of those moments are just really sort of sad and grim, and it's just like Tobey Maguire and whoever plays MJ just standing around in a graveyard like breaking up with each other. And like, do you want to bring that kind of energy to the sort of bright and colourful and the explosive Spider-Verse?
Sounds good to me.
See, maybe that's something that it's missing, though. It's missing that level of depth from those deep human emotions that Tobey Maguire could bring to the Spider-Verse and save the day through sadness? I haven't quite figured that bit out.
Only a method actor such as Tobey Maguire could ever bring that sort of level of depth to an animated.
Look, if saving the day through sadness was a real route, then I would be a superhero in real life.
Sod water ship down and everything else. No, what we need is live action Tobey Maguire in our animated film.
Yeah, there you get it.
I admit, I haven't seen him in anything else. I know he's in other movies, but I have not seen him in anything else. So I have no idea what his range is. It's just Peter Parker.
Yeah, he's, from the very few things I've seen him in, he's fine as an actor. I've got no qualms with him. He's
Fair
not
enough.
the best actor, but he ain't the worst. I think the thing that he most interestingly adds to the Spider-Verse is a third dimension.
Oh, right, yeah.
Right.
None of it is 3D at the moment. It's not 3D animation at all, no.
They think it's 3D, but it's not.
Are you... Wait. Can I clarify? Do you mean literally a third dimension, as in you go into the movie, you get given 3D glasses, it's all in 2D until Tobey Maguire shows up, and he's actually rendered into the 3D, like, binocular vision for you?
No, he means when Tobey Maguire shows up in the movie, he steps out of the cinema screen and punches you in the face.
Oh no, that's 4D, buddy. We'll get there.
They hire Tobey Maguire. There's only one screening at a time.
Yeah.
And he travels around to the screening.
He acts on stage.
Bursts through the cinema screen and puts on like a theatre production.
That's why it's got different release dates in different countries, because Tobey Maguire has to get flown across the world with this screening.
Man, anyone who's a Tobey Maguire lookalike is suddenly very, very popular.
I also like the concept of sometimes there's just a problem that the characters can't solve, and Tobey Maguire can by stepping out of the scene, around the scene, and then back into the scene at relevant locations.
There's a force field we can't get through.
That would be great for marketing, right? Like a golden ticket kind of thing where, hey, at a random screening of this on this date, one cinema somewhere in the world, the real actor's gonna pop out and be part of the movie.
Is gonna get punched in the face by Tobey Maguire.
Punch you in the face.
Honestly, this is sounding much more closer to remaking the film Spider Spaceballs, to be honest with you.
Look, that's what Tobey Maguire wants to make.
Legitimately, though, like, I think that would be a good marketing ploy of, like, you know, golden ticket kind of thing. When you've got a real, like, hot topic actor.
Like Tobey Maguire.
Have them just show up randomly to a cinema.
For this one performance of Avengers Endgame, rather than it being a recording of the movie, it's actually a stage show put on by the actual actors.
Or, like, you know, 6 different locations are going to get one different actor from each role in character show up and interact with the audience.
Right, okay.
I would buy a ticket if there was a chance of me getting punched in the face by the lead actor. Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah, just Tobey Maguire coming and slapping you around a bit.
Just add it to any movie. It doesn't even need to be a Tobey Maguire movie.
He pops in the emergency exit, all the lights come on, he shouts, "Pizza time!" and throws pizza to everyone.
I recognise this dream. I've had this one. Wait, this isn't a dream? Oh my word!
But after he's given everyone pizza, he does indeed punch someone in the face and leave.
Just start a fight.
Yeah.
Oh, absolutely, obviously. You got to accuse him of being more than half an hour late, at which point he's like, no, I'm getting paid for this pizza. Give me your wallet.
Yes, being paid for this pizza by hitting you. Yeah, good idea.
It's like, didn't you get paid for turning up to the cinema? He's like, no, I get paid by delivering the pizza to the cinema.
Well, if it happened over here, it's like, don't worry, dude, this is the UK. You can't not be paid for the work you're doing.
No, because of the contract within the museum. The museum? The movie, right?
Oh, he's like a free contractor, just so that
he only gets paid via the pizza, and as it's an American industry, he abides by their rules.
Dude, I'm pretty sure we can fight that. Like, there's a de facto employment clause.
No. Look, if my boss could afford not to pay me for me getting banging pictures of Spider-Man on his desk, then why should I not get paid for this pizza being late?
Getting pictures of Spider-Man banging on his desk.
There is the other end of this where they announce this thing where he'll turn up to one cinema and you just figure out whichever one is nearest to where he lives because they just didn't pay him very well. He's like, I'll go to that one. Like, it's just down the road.
Yes, I mean, look, if they did it really shitly, then yes.
It's just his nearest cinema.
But the point is, you know, this is the industry with a lot of money, and they can pick, like, a random cinema out of all these, like, cooperating cinemas.
But didn't they spend all their money hiring... Is it Oscar Isaacs who's playing the Spider-Man from the future?
He's one of the new ones. I don't know specifically which one he is, but he's in the film.
I think he was in the post-credit scene, and that's why I think it's that one.
Oscar the Grouch.
Yes, Oscar the Grouch. And Big Bird dressed as Spider-Man.
Shit.
Yes, unfortunately, you can't pitch Oscar Isaacs or Oscar the Grouch because they're already in the film.
Yeah.
Instead of pitching adding a Spider-Man, could we just change the whole thing to Muppet Spider-Man?
You're talking about Sesame Street and then you suddenly bring up the Muppets. But yes, I will see Muppets, yeah.
Yeah, that sounds like a great idea.
Sesame Street characters are Muppets.
Yes, they are. I'll give you that.
Sesame Street is part of the Muppetverse.
There's not much more to say about it, but Kermit the Frog being added as a Spider-Man would be funny.
Yes, I just like that image.
They pitch Spider-Frog. All the marketing is like, there's gonna be a Spider-Frog, and then it's just Kermit.
But Frog Thor already exists in the Marvel universe.
Yeah, that's fine. Like, it can. They build up like, hey, there's gonna just be a Spider-Frog, and everyone's like, oh, there's already a Spider-Thor, and then it's like, hey-ho!
Spider Thor? Wait, what?
That's a Frog Thor. Like, there's already this frog.
It's not easy being from Queens.
Someday we'll find it, the Spider-Verse connection.
It's not easy from being from Queens. Works way better than I expected.
It does, yeah.
Or, you know, he actually has to deliver justice to someone who's like, it's not easy being mean.
Oh, man. I'd like to change my answer from Tobey Maguire to Kermit the Frog.
Or wait, Kermit as the Green Goblin, and then he can just do It's Not Easy Being Green.
Oh, it works so well.
Well, talking about the Green Goblin.
No, we're talking about Spider-Man.
We're talking about Kermit the Frog.
Oh, whoa, don't worry. I'm also talking about Spider-Man. I've got an idea where you take the normal story of Spider-Man and the Green Goblin and everything that we've heard before, but you flip the characters. So you end up with Norman Osborn? Yes.
Upside down Spider-Man and upside down Green Goblin.
They're just in Australia now.
You have Norman getting bitten by the spider and becoming Spider-Man, but I guess I need him to already be the Green Goblin because otherwise you don't get Spider-Goblin. Look, I just started from the idea of Spider-Goblin and I ended up with the Green Goblin is Spider-Man.
Okay.
I was about to say, because your original idea is just a really rich man gets spider powers.
Yeah.
And Peter Parker goes insane. Yeah. Except he has no money, so it's just a lunatic on the street.
Look, people love Batman versus the Joker. You do Spider-Man versus Peter Parker, the Green Goblin. Yeah.
Is this the Green Goblin is the good guy?
Yes, Green Goblin is the good guy and Spider-Man.
In order for him to be the Green Goblin and also Spider-Man, he needs to contract goblin madness and then get bitten by a spider, or in either order, I suppose. And so, what does the other character, what does Peter Parker get?
Okay, forget Peter Parker for a second. We're going to have the Green Goblin as Spider-Man fighting the other Spider-Man villains.
We're just smashing the two characters together.
Yeah, we'll mash them together.
Does he also get to be insane?
I guess so. But people love Deadpool.
He better be, otherwise I'm not seeing the film.
I mean, you can have the Green Goblin serum work. Like, it doesn't have to make you evil. It could just make you kind of wacky.
Yeah, it's like Spider-Man Deadpool. Like he's sort of quipping, making stupid jokes.
Like, we can have all these other variants. I think the idea that the Green Goblin power doesn't have to make you a villain is something we can let slide.
Probably. I think, like, in the first film, the Tobey Maguire Spider-Man, it's more portrayed as like a split personality thing.
Yeah.
So I guess you could go down that route, and his personalities are good guy and still pretty good guy.
It's the Hulk if the Hulk was evil.
He could be one of his own villains.
He could be one of his own villains. That's fascinating. This villain's impossible to catch. He keeps just like doing all these crimes and we can never find him. What's going on?
Yeah, he's never there.
Because of the were-rabbit.
Yeah, I was about to say, this is literally just that.
Hey, we can take inspiration from anywhere.
When you say Spider Goblin, I'm also just interested, like you said, in just a goblin from a goblin world having spider powers.
Well, that's where it started. Basically, you know my MO.
It's elves.
It's evil villains.
It's Magic the Gathering. So when people started talking... Oh, yes, it's villains as well. You're right.
Elvil. Evil. Elvillains.
Elves evil? Oh my word, it all makes sense now.
But look, I basically got from Peter Porker, as in what if Spider-Man but a cartoon pig,
Spider-Ham.
to what other animals. But when my brain thinks animals, it thinks Magic the Gathering tribes. So it picked Goblin. And that's how I got to Spider-Goblin.
That's a very special connection in your brain.
Yes.
Let's go to the zoo. Ah, yes, let me get my sleeves.
I do think you need to go and talk to someone about that, if I'm honest.
I think I need to touch grass. Not gonna lie.
Oh yes, get it down with the kids.
Okay, but can we just riff a little bit on what a Goblin World Spider-Man would look like? Because I am absolutely all for a Spider-Goblin just being thrown into, like, our world.
Well, yeah, the like, animated version of our world, yeah.
And being like, yes, I'm here. I'm gonna cause lots of chaos, because that's what the superheroes do, because that's what we do in Goblin Society.
I was gonna say, what would a hero in Goblin Land look like? What would they do?
And it would be someone causing mischief.
Causing mischief. So a crime in Goblin Land is things being too orderly.
They'd still have to save their society from threats, right?
Yeah,
If Goblin Manhattan has been invaded by aliens...
Elves, please.
Elves. They still have to save it, but they'd also do it in a mischievous way where like they're sort of doing tricksy traps and pranks on the aliens as they come in, right?
Yeah, and also pranking their own society. So, you know, like, you blow up your local art gallery and also save the day by doing so, and everyone's like, yeah, you fucked us. Great job.
The result.
It's so relatable.
It's like, you've got to respect the game, is the, like, rule of Goblin Society. It's like, yes, I've been absolutely pranked. Yes, I'm missing a limb, but you did it really well, and I can't be mad.
You know what? Epic prank, dude. Hats off.
Yes. So, you know, Spider-Goblin gets pulled into the normal whatever world with the other Spider-Men.
New York.
And, like, all the Spider-Men get together, like, someone's blowing up the banks and, like, drawing green willies on all the art galleries. We've got to stop them. There's some new villain threat showing up. And they go in, and they're like, we've stopped you, the little green goblin thing. And he's like, what? I'm the hero! We're on the same side here!
I've been stopping the crimes just like you guys.
He's already on their team. They're like, we need to stop this guy. And he's like, Oh.
Why? What?
Wait, I wasn't meant to do that?
But I already did. It's like, oh, when did you do that? Or when I blew up the bank, obviously.
I will admit that on the original version of the Goblin thing I mentioned, I do look forward to an animated version of Spider-Man with the Goblin features voiced by William Dafoe.
Why don't we just double live action it and get actual Willem Dafoe like I pitched Tobey Maguire?
There we go, that's both the new additions.
I'm gonna be honest though, the voice that I really want for Spider-Goblin is the late Gilbert Gottfried.
There's a key problem there, and you found it yourself.
Yeah,
Oh, man.
key problem.
You probably would have done it, though. That's the thing.
Why are you stuck? I can't do it.
No, just let that sit for a moment.
Is Wallace Shawn still around?
That was the one I was going to go to next.
I don't know who that is.
Rex in Toy Story and Vicini in Princess Bride.
Oh, I know the fella. Yeah, that would work.
I'm down with one of these just like well-known sort of wacky voices to do the character. It doesn't have to be Willem Dafoe. I will accept that. My brain wants to go off on a tangent about all the different other voice actors we could have, but that's probably not for the best on this show.
I see you've been on this podcast before then.
One of the other things I think that would be great is just like getting all these actors on like Cameo or whatever and paying them all separately to record like a line at a time and just jamming them all together, and Spider-Goblin is just voiced by like 100 people and it's just chaotic.
This is sounding close to like Spider Bumblebee more than anything else.
It's just an art project.
That would be a fun way to do like a robotic or maybe like cyberpunk character. Just have their voice change like every line.
And I think that's what Paul's referencing with the Bumblebee thing, right?
Yeah.
Absolutely. The radio. Yeah.
Because I think that might be where, like Rick and Morty, people are wondering if that's where they're gonna go with the, just pull in different people to be the voice actors for episodes and just do it their own way.
Yeah, why not? Right? They can do whatever they want because nobody can do a Rick impression, I'm sure.
Yeah, no, I haven't heard 100 people try it before.
That was one of my favorite tweets about it, though. It's just like, this is a real shame because I don't know of a single white man who's ever done a Rick impression.
That's true. That's very true.
Well, that's Spider-Goblin. I want him to be green.
Of course you do.
I just like the colour green.
You were like, Green Spider-Man, Green Goblin, Goblin Spider-Man. Let me get my sleeves.
Okay, so, funny little characters who like to make silly noises.
What about you?
Yeah, what about me? Just put me in, coach. No, okay, so I know this is coming a bit hot on the tails of our last episode, but...
No, not quite. Last but one.
Last released at time of recording, but not last recorded.
I've still got a whole Superman episode to edit.
Oh, yeah, Superman and Spider-Man. We just have Superman be Spider-Man.
Okay, I know this is hot on the tails of a recent episode, but what about Spider Mario? Like, just popping in saying, "It's me!
Spider-Man!
Yahoo!"
What, he's already acrobatic, he's already the right colour scheme.
Oh,
And he just, like, picks up a spider and wears the suit.
Oh, like the bee suit.
Yeah, but just, like, gets ninja rope as an extra power.
you're right. With his current powers, he slots into the world near seamlessly.
And then if he ever gets hit, he briefly eludes his spider powers, yeah.
He's been to New Donk City before. You can be Italian-American, so that works fine. Man, this writes itself.
The pizza thing is actually, if anything, more relatable.
He's got several other roles that he can be doing as a day job.
He's got a profession that starts with P. Instead of pizza, he's plumber.
Yeah, he's a plumber delivery boy.
Instead of photographer, he's a plumber, yeah.
We're always like, we need you, Mario, we need you here in half an hour or you're not getting paid to fix our pipes because it's a real emergency.
Boop, boop, boop.
He's got that alliteration name that Marvel love. Peter Parker, Mario. So
And I'm pretty sure all of the Spider-Man villains have a weak point if you jump on their head.
that's how the video games work.
I mean, sometimes you have to, like, do a couple of other things, but yeah. I do think it's an interesting point. Like, what if, when an enemy gets a hit on Spider-Man, he briefly loses access to his spider powers until he can get another pickup?
Has to go find another mushroom to chug.
I don't think you find another spider and eat it.
Honestly, I think it's more hilarious if you just got, normal Peter Parker there is like fighting Doc Ock, and then from downtown comes Spider Mario and just curb stomps Doc Ock's head.
Ground pound.
Just jumps between all the tentacles and just smashes it.
like, holy fuck.
He's dead.
He's just like, and they're like, holy shit, that was brutal. And he's just like, thank you so nice.
Just going around mashing the face of every single... He is so far the scariest Spider-Man because he's legitimately just killing them.
One-shots people.
Occasionally just grabs a sledgehammer.
Just goes wild.
What's so great about that is, he takes an absolutely brutal hit, gets a bit smaller, takes another absolutely brutal hit, walks back on screen a few seconds later, I was like, what? You just died? He's like, no.
He's like, yeah, well, I've got mushrooms, baby.
And then there's so many restaurants in New York, you just scoffing mushrooms all the time.
There's mushrooms everywhere.
What's that villain in Spider-Man who's just like a lizard man?
What?
The lizard.
Is it just okay.
The lizard, yeah.
Like Spider Mario, they're like, crap, the lizard's doing some trouble. Spider Mario walks up, jumps on his back. Lizard's like, what the hell? He's like, go, Yoshi! And Lizard's like, I don't want to. He's like, go! Kicks him. He's like, okay.
I really enjoyed, what's that Spider-Man villain who's just like a lizard? Do you mean the lizard? What's that Spider-Man who's kind of like a rhino? Do you mean the rhino? What's that Spider-Man villain who's kind of like that Sandman? Do you mean Sandman?
I just wanted to allow them a little bit more room for creativity than they used.
No, you could have guessed that in one, I reckon.
Wait, vulture, scorpion, rhino, lizard.
They're all animals. They're all animals.
Also, Big Wheel is an absolute masterpiece enemy for like a Mario level.
Yeah, agreed.
Like, slides back and forth. You have to dodge it when he's doing the wheeling back and forth. There's bits where he like spins out because you throw a banana in the way, and that's when you get to attack.
Oh, when you beat him, he falls out, and then you can kick the wheel at people like you can with a Koopa shell.
Or you get to briefly jump in the wheel and do like a Mario Kart level.
Around the streets of New York, just a bunch of taxis all like traffic jammed up, and you're just in a big wheel.
There are some good Mario Kart levels. Some of the really fun ones are ones where there is traffic on the course.
This is true. But a traffic that's moving, typically.
Yeah.
And like, I'm not saying the traffic's a complete standstill in New York, but it kind of is.
And is MJ now a princess? Is she just royalty now? Is that how this is going to work?
That's Michael Jackson, right?
Mary Jane.
Marijuana, no, it's mushrooms.
It's that or Princess Peach becomes a redhead, I guess?
Yeah.
I just wonder, like, but in this universe that we're pulling him across the Spider-Verse from, oh no, is the Green Goblin Bowser?
That just fits really well.
Yes, absolutely.
Oh my word, we gotta pitch this to Nintendo and Sony right now.
Because he's got a flying vehicle that he throws things out of.
Yep.
Like the Green Goblin has the glider that he throws things off.
Oh my word.
Because this is a world where actually, like, Bowser's gone crazy and actually become a proper villain.
He doesn't turn up to Mario Kart anymore, yeah.
I mean, like, canonically in Mario, they're all, like, actors putting on a show.
That is in the Mario Bros. 2, whichever one.
No, that one's a dream.
Super Mario World and Mario Bros. 2.
The Mario 2 is set like a stage show, but actually turns out to be a dream at the end.
Are you telling me that Mario thinks he's just in a film, like similar to Tobey Maguire, except Mario's actually like killing Doc Ock, but just thinks it's a stunt?
You put him over, it's like, oh yes, you're acting really well, Doc Ock. That's really good playing dead. Doc?
So, in an old interview with Game Informer, Shigeru Miyamoto said that Mario and Bowser are like a troupe of actors. They're friends, they put on these performances.
I assume that's not canon, but sure.
That's like, the flavor behind them getting on and continuously having these things is like, it's a show. It's a fun thing they do.
It's just occurred to me that Donkey Kong might already be a villain in Spider-Man. Is Gorilla Grodd a Spider-Man villain?
No, that's a Flash villain.
It's a Flash villain, you're absolutely right. It's a DC, I'm so far off, but now Marvel get their alternative in Donkey Kong.
There's a Gorilla Man in Marvel somewhere.
Gorilla Man, aka Dr. Arthur Nagin, is a villain in the Marvel universe. And
We've already gone too deep.
There is a Gorilla Man that does Marvel and Spider-Man.
Look, all I know is that because a lot of Spider-Man villains are based on animals, any Mario character that is also an animal fits perfectly in this universe.
So we're going to replace the Rhino with the Goomba, we're going to replace the Lizard with the Koopa, the Vulture with the Koopa Trooper. That's how we're taking it in this universe?
Yeah.
I mean, the other thing with, like, if there is a Donkey Kong equivalent, it starts as a villain, and then Spider-Mario,
wins over his friendship.
Defeats and then rescues him and becomes,
Assuming he doesn't just kill him at some point, thinking it's a stage play.
But I think it's funny, like, that is the canon in Spider-Mario's universe, but then he gets pulled into the other Spider-Man's world, and he's just misinterpreting everything he sees, because it's just so slightly different.
That's why he's so jolly.
Just like Spider-Mario thrown into, like, the grim dark.
This person's taken 17 hostages.
Yahoo! Let's go! He's like, no, if you run in, he'll start shooting them. No, it's okay. fire, jump onto his head.
I get him with the fire flower.
Oh god, Spider-Man's got fire powers now. Oh no.
No.
Not at the same time.
Yes,
Not at the
correct.
same time. I accept that.
Oh, of course, the suit.
Spider-Man can switch into fire powers.
Oh, so he can become a cat Mario.
Depending on if he finds a power up.
And then he hangs out with Black Cat, the Spider-Man character, and they get on really well. There we go. Solved it.
Yeah.
Or maybe Spider-Mario gets suctioned into the universe only wearing the spider suit and then has to like get together with the superhero suit designers to put together the suits to give him back his like cat powers and Hammer Bros powers and all those things.
But he gets them from natural sources. As we know, he has to find another radioactive spider to eat. It's that simple.
Yeah. In his universe, he gets them from things that are lying around, but here he's only come in with the spiders.
Potentially a regular spider would do it for him. They're just regular items in his world, right?
Who knows?
The mushrooms and the flowers and things.
I don't know. They're super mushrooms rather than just mushrooms.
He comes through and he's just like, I need a tanuki suit. I need like a magical leaf. They're like, what the hell are you talking about? It's like, just to go over there and find me a magical leaf. It'll be on a plant or something. It's like, we don't have that here.
Magic exists.
Fuck.
It's also very funny. He sees like someone with a flower bed like on their apartment windowsill or something, and he's just like, aha, I've got an idea, and just stuffs his face full of all their flowers in the hopes that one of them's a fire flower.
I thought you were going to say like, gets attacked by a piranha plant. Like he gets pulled through to our universe, and then just some plumber's doing some work on the other side of Manhattan, and suddenly a piranha plant just like jumps out of the pipe and just eats the plumber's face off.
Oh man, traveling through the sewers of New York, he gets to meet the Ninja Turtles. Result.
And then stomps them to death immediately.
Oh, good point there, Cooper's crap.
They're just like, hey, don't do this, we're your friends. And he's like, it doesn't even listen, just bounce, gets a combo across all of them, gets a 1-up.
Yeah.
Is Mario a vampire? If he kills enough stuff in a row, he gets extra lives.
Is that a vampire thing?
I mean, he drains life, right?
That's like collecting souls like a demon, right?
Yeah, okay, like a lich.
You have to get to enough for it to count.
Is Mario secretly a combos-only lich?
You have to get 100, but once you get 100, you get a phylactery, yeah.
Mario is the vampire of New York. Fascinating.
Oh, not Morbius.
Well, I mean, there can be two.
Mario's like, it's a me, Morbin time.
Oh man, I missed that movie. They really need to screen it again because I couldn't go to see it that one weekend.
I missed that movie because I didn't want to see it because I don't care.
No, we wanted to see it. We would absolutely go see it, and they should put it on.
Yeah, you're right. It was only shown it wasn't shown long enough near me because I was busy at the time. So if they put it back on and get it back into cinemas again, I'll definitely go and see it.
Everyone would go and see it if they just put it on one more time.
Absolutely, they would sell out the entire cinema. They should show it like every screening, book out the entire cinema for like 8 weeks straight, and it would sell out forever.
Hollywood, listen, we're speaking on behalf of everyone here right now.
Categorically.
Do a huge theatrical re-release of Morbius.
100%.
This entire video is just a direct message to Hollywood.
It is now.
Video? Podcast. Whoops.
Dear Hollywood, sort your shit out.
Hey, your name. Did you know we also have a website and a Twitch channel and a YouTube channel, all of which provide alternative ways to keep up with our usual slew of content, as well as occasionally getting their own unique piece of content. We've also got a Twitter and a Facebook page to help you keep up to date with all of our nonsense. Links to all of the above will be in the show notes. Help us grow by liking and subscribing to as many of those as you have accounts for. And whilst you click on those, we'll get back to the episode. Dear Hollywood, I've got a pitch for you as well. Oh, I guess Paul, strictly speaking.
Hello, I'm still here.
Now, we've been talking a lot about Spider-Man.
You consider Morbius.
But have you heard of Man Spider?
Man Spider.
That's just Spider-Man backwards.
Isn't that like from an old Flash animation in the early 2000s?
I don't know what you're talking about, and I'm going to ignore it. Man Spider. Now, this is actually one from the actual comics. So what if Spider-Man was more Spider than Man?
So it's like Man-Bat from Batman.
It is kind of like Man-Bat from Batman.
Is this like the One Piece thing? Where
Again, a reference I don't know.
there's a character in One Piece who is a reindeer who eats the human powers fruit.
Oh, and becomes a human with human powers.
Who becomes like a were-human reindeer.
So are you asking, is this a spider that got bitten by Tobey Maguire and became Man-Spider?
A radioactive Tobey Maguire.
That is not what I was thinking, but let's go on that for a second. A spider gains the powers of a man, such as existential dread and the need to earn an income.
Whoa, Whoa. That's the powers of capitalism. That's not inherent to us as a species.
You're right, and a love of capitalism, as all humans have. Yes, I've done it again.
No, it's just the same as every other Spider-Man.
I'm the person who's meant to bring the villains.
Right. So what you have is how big is this spider? We're talking, like...
It depends which version of Man Spider you want. If you want the spider that's gained the powers of a man, then it's still the size of a spider.
Yeah, okay, right. So
but if you want the comic accurate Man Spider, it's Peter Parker who has become more, like, the spider genes start taking over the human genes, and he gets all fuzzy, he grows extra arms, he gets mandibles.
So it's the Fly.
Is one of the powers of a man being bigger than a spider?
I would say that's not strictly. I don't think size is one of man's powers. I think intelligence is one of their powers.
And he's like, hey, let's talk about the one where Peter Parker becomes mostly spider. And Bear's like, no. The little spider one, please. Let's go back to that quick.
No, let's go back to Itsy Bitsy Spider being a Spider-Man real fun.
Okay, so it's a normal spider that just has problems. The relatable everyday problems.
Office job.
There is definitely a sort of like a weird tangential scene there where there's, I don't know, Spider Pig, Man Spider, and Spider Noir all having a deep conversation about how difficult it is to be a Spider-Man. And then there's just that Spider being like, how do you do just being alive?
How do you do taxes?
This idea has legs.
You bring both of them. You bring Man Spider and Man Spider. You dip both versions of Man Spider through from the same universe.
Oh,
I've
God.
got two pictures in one for you, baby.
Oh.
So I think this is great as like a millennial webcomic of just a spider like set up as if it's going to do something super and then just pausing and instead being distracted by an everyday problem we can relate to and just looking sad and there's no punchline.
Now, one of the ideas I had that I wasn't going to bring up was just a fake Spider-Man, as in a person that everybody thinks is Spider-Man, but actually he doesn't have any of Spider-Man's powers, he's just a dude.
You're just winging it.
It's like, there are weird comics about characters that have powers that their powers are that people think they can do things, or they like stuff like that, but that wasn't what I actually wanted to bring.
There's like a My Hero Academia character whose whole thing is just people think he's powerful, so he just gives these like confident speeches and the villains all give up in front of him, but he doesn't actually have any powers.
Yeah, it's that sort of thing.
There's also Gwenpool, who's actually a human from our world who got pulled into the Marvel comics, and everyone assumes she has powers and she doesn't. All she has is a knowledge of the comics in our world that therefore tell her all the secrets of the world she's been pulled into.
But at some point she's going to run out of what she's read and be like, oh no, now I'm just stuck in here.
Yeah, but she knows everyone's secret identity, etc.
Oh, damn.
Fake Spider-Man could also just be Tobey Maguire again. They pulled in him because he's wearing a Spider-Man costume. They're like, you're Spider-Man. He thinks he's just doing the character. He's trying to like, so it's like, okay, let's go web slinging. He just stands there throwing his hand out and is like waiting for the special effects.
I think Ed, you're being called out on being asked to provide several different answers, and you've just duplicated your answer. Just reworded it in a different way.
That wasn't what I was even planning on bringing. Okay, can I pull us back to Man Spider?
Okay, Man Spider.
Man Spider. And I mean, the Man Spider that I actually intended to bring was the Peter Parker whose spider genes start taking over. He grows extra arms. He starts losing his sense of humanity.
The hideous, scary one.
He becomes kind of a beast.
As I say, this is the thing I do not want to see put to film ever.
You're absolutely right.
The Fly was bad enough.
Oh no, it's going to be a terrifying film. It's now 18 plus horror film.
Yeah.
What you're talking about is like a dramatic Kafka retelling of the Metamorphosis, but of Peter Parker becoming a spider.
Sure, why not? Yeah. But I think the way he fits into the team is like, he still has that little bit of like Peter Parker morality within him.
Justice.
But he also is a monster.
Yeah, everyone's sort of looking at him like, what?
It's like, I want to do good, but I don't have any control over my instincts.
Like, oh, a pigeon, that must be a fly.
That is food now.
Just eats the damn thing.
Oh.
Yeah, exactly.
Just webs it and eats it.
Being an absolute freak around the whole city.
Wait, are you not supposed to do that?
No.
Being an absolute freak around the whole city? Eating pigeons?
I need to rethink some things about my life.
I got questions that I don't think we should answer here.
But at least cook the pigeon. Jeez.
No, look, I can relate to the idea of like a token amount you want to be doing good, but you're also just an animal. A chaotic animal with very poor impulse control.
Ah, yes. Bear. I've accidentally pitched Bear Spider-Man again.
You pitched me as Spider-Man again.
What can I say? These pitches are so good I had to make them multiple times. movies.
In some versions of, they like doing like sort of alternate reality Marvel universes. In some versions, they do cover animal versions of the heroes, but normally they're still very much like the heroes. I like playing into the being taken over by the animal side of it a bit more than just like, oh, it's a dog who's Captain America, but he's just Captain America with a dog body. Like, whatever. I don't know if that's one, but...
No, yeah, he's more animal than man.
So what is actually going to be the situation if there's going to be this man that's going to, make a web in like a particularly airy location?
Oh, at his butt.
The webs also come out of his arsenal.
Oh, yes. Right. Thank you very much for that imagery. So there's just a random bloke that's got too many arms.
Oh, he's really hairy as well. He's got those like spider hair all over his body.
Oh, I hate them. Oh.
Yeah, and you know the movie when he first like leaves all the bad guys in the web in the alleyway?
Yeah.
Instead, they're drained of all their fluids.
Yeah.
No, they've been dissolved by his acids, yeah.
I think there's a bit of him that keeps them alive, because what I think would be interesting is if he's a really efficient crime fighter. Like, he rarely needs to sleep. He's got these animal instincts that make him an incredible crime fighter, but he is a mess of a monster and is like terrorizing people kind of by accident, even though he's still trying to do good and doing good very efficiently.
Oh, like he goes to save someone and they're scared of him as much as they are of the villain.
He's a menace.
He actually is a menace.
You get less Peter Parker and more Spider-Man.
Yes.
He captures them and he's like, I'm gonna put them in jail, and then oops, I accidentally ate one of them. And the remaining ones are just in the web just watching, and they're like, oh shit.
I think that he would say he would keep them alive, but only just.
He has these moments of humanity where he can like speak and stuff, but I think if he has those moments of doubt where he's like, is this criminal bad enough that they should die rather than go to police, the animal brain takes over and just eats him.
Of course, we're just doing the angst of should I kill these people that every superhero has in a movie, but coming down on the other side of it.
It's not should I kill them. I think the opposite is I shouldn't kill these people, but then he gets so mad at what they've done that he just like loses it and accidentally eats one of them.
But surely you wouldn't get mad. Surely the animal instincts are different to being angry.
No, but I think like getting worked up can trigger a turning over to his instincts.
Yeah, it's moments where he like forgets his morals or just loses that little bit of his humanity in the moment, and the animal brain takes over, does what it does, and then Peter Parker comes back and goes, oh no, I'm a monster. And then the other Spider-Mans turn up and they're like, but you're so efficient at fighting crime.
And he just eats Peter Parker. Just straight up swallows Peter Parker whole.
But Spider-Ham can get out of the webs, right?
Yeah, but no, he just eats him. He just like he webs him up a bit and just nom. Spider-Ham's gone.
But like Spider-Ham is also strong, right?
Spider-Ham has cartoon strength, so he might get away with it.
Okay, he might survive. That's it. You have a moment of doubt where Man-Spider eats Peter Parker, and everyone's like, oh no, how dare you? And then he just like fights his way back up and gets out because he's a cartoon.
You've got a great comic relief there where Spider-Ham is the outlet for Man-Spider's like bestial aggressions because he can take it.
Oh,
so just
that's
like
interesting.
no premise, no like veil over it. Man-Spider is just like, I'm gonna eat that damn pig, and just constantly trying to do it as like, I'm just gonna eat that pig. And like, this is my outlet, and the pig can handle it.
And the pig's like, if that stops him from eating the public, then this is how it has to be.
Yeah. Anytime Man-Spider is about to like lose it and kill someone, Peter Parker swings in, like slaps his butt and is like, ooh, I'm tasty.
This is a weird juxtaposition between the body horror of Man-Spider and a cartoon pig in a Spider-Man costume.
I mean, I think we need more body horror good things, you know?
Wait a second. Okay, you know how they have different styles? Like Peter Parker is an American cartoon, like the Looney Tunes or whatever.
Yeah.
And Penny, is it Penny? That was like an anime girl. And Spider-Man, what? Right. You do Man-Spider using
AIR only.
stop motion practical effects.
Oh.
I was thinking like, the Thing kind of special effects, not necessarily stop motion, but yeah.
Yeah, but like the Thing, or like I said, the Fly earlier. Something like the Fly, like you do practical effects to really drive it home.
Yeah, claymation stop motion, but like instead of claymation, it's all made of meat.
Oh, Meat Nation, of course.
Like that scene from Mass Effect 1 where it's just bits of meat with circuit boards being jammed into them. No?
What?
No one?
No.
You had to save that one for one with Alex.
It's like a weird, it's like a weird trippy vision someone has, and
Don't remember it at all.
fair enough.
Oh my word, that sounds disgusting.
Oh, it's only like a split second.
I'm choosing not to look it up anyway.
Yeah.
So back to the thing we were talking about before, where it's just like a spider with powers.
You are really stuck on this concept.
Yeah.
What if it was just a spider with powers? Spider's Man.
Wait, hang on.
So you get a spider gets bitten by a radioactive spider. Or, okay, the radioactive spider in the first place just gets its own powers.
No, I mean, a spider gets bitten by a radioactive spider. What happens? Yes.
Oh, this spider has spider powers, yeah.
In a spider wrestling match, a spider gets bitten by a radioactive spider, and this spider gets Spider-Man powers.
Spider-Man, you're right. No, Spider, of course.
So... it's just a spider, but it has the ability to have, like, spider senses, it can web sling, a heroic impulse.
Oh, yes, the well-known spider power, a heroic impulse. You sure you don't want the spider to be bitten by Tobey Maguire again?
He can be voiced by Tobey Maguire.
Yeah.
Okay, but like, this spider's man, the power it really gets is... okay, so a spider already has spider senses, right?
Yeah. Canonically, all spiders have spider senses.
All spiders have psychic powers.
Yep.
So this one's psychic powers instead get upgraded to communicating with other spiders.
Ooh.
And it becomes like a psychic host center for a bunch of spiders.
Oh, I see where you're going.
So this one spider gets pulled through to our world.
It's a swarm of spiders.
Yeah, it can just coordinate spiders in the area.
Both of you are bringing ideas that I just do not want to ever see put to film. A man who is a giant spider and a big swarm of spiders. I just don't want to see this.
But it doesn't look like a big swarm of spiders, because I think what Bear's going for with Spiders Man, and please, excuse me for stepping into your answer here, Bear, but is a man shape, but made of a swarm of spiders.
A man shape wearing a Spider-Man suit.
Yeah, like Octodad.
Octodad stuff.
Yeah, it's Oogie Boogie. It's literally Mr. Oogie Boogie. Like, you pull the hood off and it's just a bunch of spiders there.
It's just a million spiders in a trench coat.
Okay, that's much better. If I don't have to look at the spiders, I'm fine.
Not only does he have the normal Spider-Man powers, but if he gets attacked and like an arm gets chopped off, that arm goes off and like sets up a web trap.
Oh, that's
Or
good.
comes like flying back in unexpectedly. So while people don't know that he's a big pile of spiders, he has that element of surprise.
And rather than shooting webbing to like swing, it's a long line of spiders all like doing a trapeze act together to make a string to swing on.
Sort of like Green Army Men style.
Yeah, they do that thing where they like float a string and fly with it, but they're all connected.
Well, as he shoots out a web, it's just spiders all like pushing each other up on their shoulders.
It's a bunch of spiders connected by strings flying up. They get to something and then they pull each other up.
Oh, that's really good.
So like as much as I don't love that idea. It's horrifying, but it is defeated by bug spray, which is quite interesting for the time that Spider-Man is actually defeated by bug spray.
Yeah.
Oh, but it's not defeated by a lot of things people assume it's defeated by before they know it's a pile of spiders.
Yeah.
It wouldn't be defeated by Spider Mario. It can't jump on a million spiders' head.
You shoot it with a gun and it doesn't matter, right?
Yeah. I think, well, you also have, there is one spider potentially in the mass that keeps moving around to protect itself.
Or in the core somewhere, yeah.
Yeah. And then maybe they have like web tricks or other things to like make it escape when things go bad.
So as long as the main spider doesn't get got, the one who was bitten by Tobey Maguire's slashed radioactive spider,
Yeah, it's the heart of Spider's Man.
any other spider can be lost with no loss whatsoever. Wait, can you have a big climactic battle at the end of it where, like, the villain gets huge because Rita Repulsa's given them extra power, and
He
then
pulls in all the spiders.
all the spiders in the city and makes a huge...
Spider Garen Lagan.
Like Spiders Man just staring it down, this tiny little dude, and then suddenly just this massive black wave just like swarms towards it, and he grows in size.
Or it's even worse. You know how like spiders literally fly sometimes and it can rain spiders?
Yes.
Thanks, I hate it.
Yes, I hate it too, but I am aware.
So they can travel through the atmosphere by like, sometimes baby spiders will like put a string of web out and fly on the wind. And so that's partly how spiders have populated the real world.
That's almost really cute.
So they're like, ha, we've put in like this barrier, these walls. Spiders aren't going to be able to come in now that we've figured out who you are, and I've got this big mech. And then just like spiders just come flying in.
It just starts raining, oh god.
Because spiders can't climb walls.
It's electrified, I don't know.
These like anti-spider wall or something, you know.
Anti-climb paint on all the walls.
A bunch of frogs forming a wall.
Frogs. Frogman, the one weakness to spiders, man.
Frogs man.
Frogs, man, I'm so sorry.
Oh yeah, frogs.
3 frogs in a trench coat.
Frogs men. And then the spiders just come in from the sky. Now the other variant, if you don't want to see a bunch of spiders, the other variant we can do here, to keep it like not so obvious, is Spider Tui. Where the spider like sits under a chef's hat or a pizza delivery boy's hat.
Right.
Poor Toby, we're getting him back in again.
Just starts pulling the hair, pulling the webs around the body, and like guiding this person.
Oh, does it puppets it with spider string?
Yeah.
Not just the hair, he actually has spider string like running down to the arms and stuff.
Puppets in the spider string.
But then he'll think that he's got got 8 arms when he's only got 4, so we'll go for like web 1, web 2, web 3. Oh, I don't have a third arm. What?
Maybe like the webs make up for that, or it's all the fingers.
Or maybe they're all out the arse again, so actually only ever needs one web.
Yeah, it's not on the head, the spider's up the bum.
He joins the team, and Peter Parker and Miles Morales are like, we made you a web slinger, and he keeps turning around and trying to shoot it out the butt anyway.
Or just like, it's a cartoon, right? He can be in this cartoon, like, wacky style, and so the spider just assumes that this guy can climb a wall, so he just does. The power of this little spider is just, anyone he's controlling just does spider powers because he just assumes they should.
Sheer belief.
So he just like grabs a random bystander and they start climbing a wall. They're like, how do you do that? They look at their hands, they're like, I don't know.
The villain shoots them, the bystander dies, and the spider just hops onto someone else's head.
Yeah.
It works on any human.
And it's like, I am Spider-Man. They're like, what?
In some ways, it's sort of like as a hero comes, it is almost sort of quite distressing in the sense of like any means is justified. I will take any civilian and use it as a weird mech.
Yeah, you don't want to live in Manhattan.
Well, here's the other thing. If you put the two ideas together, where you do have a psychic spider controlling other spiders, it sends the spiders out to crawl onto the heads of everyone in their sleep, and then Spider-Tui's all of them.
So you're combining them both into a zombie horde of spider people.
Oh no, this is a villain now.
Yeah, you can have it be a great villain of just like, yeah, one psychic spider controlling a bunch of others to control a bunch of people, if you want to take it that direction. Once again, it has legs.
This idea does have legs.
I knew there was going to be at least one pun this episode, and the fact that it's taken this long, quite frankly, surprises me.
I tried to force it in earlier, but it didn't land.
All of these ideas have got legs, to be honest.
Eddie's got the sound clip of me just saying it has legs and can drop it in wherever. Let's just do a quick run. It's got legs.
We're about to hit an hour, and I'd like to get my second
it's got
idea in.
legs.
Oh, that idea's got legs.
Eddie, legs.
That's got legs.
Paul, arms.
That's got arms?
That's got arse. What?
Yeah, that's how it swings.
Yeah, so I think, yeah, there we go. Lots of spiders. Do what you will with them.
Okay.
Jamie, do you have any ideas that are less horrifying?
Right.
Please.
To bring us home, I have a final idea to go over, but I need a little bit of help. I need a little bit of workshopping here. There's a Batman comic where Batman gets flung back in time, and then he has to make his way to the present by going through a bunch of different eras.
Bat in time.
Bat to the future.
That's it. End the episode. We've done it. Thanks for listening.
Gotta go back to the future.
We came up with the Batman pun and the Spider-Man. That's a wrap.
Okay, that's it. Back to the Future, I'm in. That's the film that's going into the Spider-Verse.
So he has to make his way to the future through a bunch of different eras, and so they do Batman in like the pirate times or the cavemen times or Victorian Britain or whatever. They do it across a bunch of eras.
It's called Spider-Man Arachnorism.
Oh, that's pretty good.
I hate it.
That's pretty good.
What?
It's an anachronism with arachnid.
To be anachronistic is to be in the wrong time period.
Oh, okay.
That's pretty good. It's probably too highbrow for our podcast.
I mean, I didn't get it. And guess who has editing power?
You're gonna just clip in, I got that joke.
I understood that reference.
It's like anachronism and arachnid in Wolf from Afar.
Anyway.
So, time travel Spider-Man.
Well, either time travel pulling from all of them, or, because I couldn't figure out which one's best, I want help with this, that's why I'm bringing it up here. What period-based Spider-Man do we want to pull from? Like, where in history could you get the most interesting version of Spider-Man?
Quick pitch for a setup. It's that, but Spider-Man has some kind of, there's some kind of temporal thing where his phone still works.
Or so you can flip between them.
No, he can't. He's flipping between them uncontrollably.
Right.
But he has a phone connection to the future. He can, Skype them.
What?
And they're like, what did you just do? This is all messed up. So he's just playing the game of, in the time he's in, trying to undo the
He's
thing.
butterfly affecting forwards to stop the villain.
Yeah, but he's constantly making a mistake, and then on the call has to figure out why and undo it in the same time sequence.
I mean, I'm pretty sure they've done a bunch of that kind of nonsense in time travel in Marvel, probably.
Probably.
I would like to pitch a period of history.
Yeah.
2002.
Okay.
You want to bring in Tobey Maguire by some
I
small
want to bring
chance?
Tobey Maguire again. I'm glad you got it.
Like, obviously, if it's from a certain period, it's going to be relevant to that period, right? Like, if you pick the Roman Republic, he's going to be one of the people stabbing Julius Caesar.
Oh, Brutus, he's coming in.
And 2 Spider-Man?
If you pick the colonial era, he's going to be the one who discovers the Americas.
Okay.
Or he gets zipped back, sees someone about to stab Caesar, webs them no stabbing on Spider-Man's watch, and then is like, wait, I was supposed to let that happen? He just has has to grapple with. He keeps getting sent back to all of these like assassinations in history, saves people just by instinct, and then like gets the call from the future saying, "You need to make sure that person dies." So it's Spider Assassin.
I assume we were putting a Spider-Man from the past into the present.
Yeah, kind of. Yeah, that was the kind of idea. But bear around with a different thing. That's also cool. I won't disagree.
You mentioned something earlier that made me laugh. This is going back a little bit, but you mentioned shooting a Spider-Man with a gun, and I was like, Spider-Man with a gun is a very funny idea.
Spider-Man with a sniper rifle.
Spider-Man with a sniper rifle, of course. But to bring it back to your point, though, I would like to pitch medieval Spider-Man, so it's just Spider-Man with a sword.
What about Spider-Man with a bow and arrow?
Spider-Man with a trebuchet.
Spider-Man with a bow and arrow who shot Harold Goodwinson or whatever his name is.
Godwinson.
Battle of Hastings.
I think it's more fun to just have him swinging a sword around, though, to be honest.
Like, just Knight Spider-Man. We got a sword.
Or Spider Joust.
He's got a lance and he swings through town.
Swinging through the air with a lance. Just mid-swing takes a villain out.
He just keeps cheating by like webbing the floor under the other horse before they start.
Wait, who said there were horses involved?
Oh no, he's swinging. He doesn't need a horse.
You just said joust.
He's just swinging through the air with a lance.
What? So that someone else is on a horse and he just comes flying down with a lance and stabs them.
Yeah.
He just skewers criminals with a lance out of nowhere.
He's still doing Spider-Man things. He's not at a joust. Well, he might do a joust tournament, but he's going through, like, medieval New York.
Medieval is not a good setting for Spider-Man because there aren't the buildings to web between.
No, you're right, but that's what makes it even better.
Or, like, he always has to stay near the castle because that's tall enough for him to swing from.
That's the only place he gets elevation.
Yeah, anywhere with ramparts.
Like cathedrals, castles, towers.
That's just Spider Assassin's Creed.
Yeah.
Spider Pope.
He's just the Pope. He's just the Borgia Pope or whatever.
What if you go back to just like Evolutionary Man, where it's just Spider-Man just helping tribes?
What, like early hunter-gatherers?
Yeah, just like zipping around, helping people adapt to the changing climates, helping take down a mammoth.
Cultivating the first agricultural seeds, you know.
I don't think that's very Spider-Man of Spider-Man.
No, you're right. I'd like to bring in a Spider-Man from like 100 million years ago, just as we were first crawling out of the ocean.
Just goo.
Bring that Spider-Man into modern day era. It's just
A newt.
a fish with legs and also spider powers.
100 million years ago, I think we were like little rodent kind of things.
I took a wild stab in the dark. I was like 50, 60 million years. That's dinosaur time, so it's gotta be before then. How much before then? We'll guess double-ish.
60 million years ago is when chickens and crows diverged. Sorry, I'm getting into a special interest. Let's move on.
Wait a second. Did you say dinosaur? Forget about it being a person bitten by a radioactive spider. It's a T-Rex bitten by a radioactive spider.
Tiny little arms to spin the webs with.
No, I think it shouldn't be a T-Rex. It should be like one of the little ineffective dinosaurs that's just running around being a chicken.
No, you're going the wrong way. It's a Diplodocus.
Yeah, I was thinking Diplodocus, Jamie. Thank you for bringing that up.
Long neck boy.
Or even better, just like a megalodon.
What, a shark kind of thing?
Swing it, like, we bring it into our world. There's a villain in Manhattan. Then you hear a roar, and the megalodon swings past and just eats it.
It's not even swinging, like, because there's nothing for it to swing from.
No, we're pulling it into our world for the movie. It's swinging through downtown Manhattan.
So it webs to a building and just pulls out, like, pulls out a window, pulls out a beam.
Yeah.
Yeah, look, it doesn't have to make sense.
Look, I was about to say, like, the vast majority of Spider-Man films, I will say this right now, like, that, again, back to Tobey Maguire, him stopping the train. I think he webs back onto, like, 2 buildings either side. Those buildings are being absolutely destroyed.
How strong is his web to achieve that?
Okay, but what about a society where dinosaurs persisted? Built a dinosaur society.
Oh, you mean like the Super Mario movie?
Yeah, so what about, like, there are these giant sauropods, and they have a functional society, they have buildings, and one of them becomes Spider-Man and gets pulled into our world, and it's just not prepared for the world not to be built for him.
Oh, alternate universe Spider-Man.
So he's constantly, like, jumping in for a dramatic landing, and just the ground collapses, he falls into the subway station underneath.
Right, they don't build roads like they do where I'm from.
I'd actually like to make a somewhat serious pitch as Caveman Spider-Man.
Yeah, they did that for one of the Batmans, so it's actually got some scope.
Doesn't really speak English, but does have spider powers.
Yeah.
And can bonk real good as well.
Just has a club. Like, eh?
Doesn't understand the concept of, like, crime and, like, justice, so it's just like, well, if someone's wronged me, it's a bonking.
Red and blue coloured loincloth.
Yeah, that's it.
I think you can do it where, like, there is a similar level of curiosity and intelligence, but just not the education and familiarity.
Yeah, whoever you pick has to be the equivalent of a super genius in their era because that's what Peter Parker is, right?
He's pretty smart.
But like, so you just have the Spider-Man who understands right and wrong from like an early society point of view, doesn't understand the like societal structures and economics that frame our current view of what right and wrong. So he's constantly just doing things that are right, but keeps getting told off by the police. And also, whenever they're gonna do a plan, he just like sees a billboard, like a moving billboard with like a sexy dancer on it, and he just stops dead and watches it. And they're like, Spider Caveman, where are you? We're trying to do the plan. He's just like, oh.
It doesn't even have to be like anything attractive, just a Coca-Cola advert, and he's like, I don't understand.
A burger. He's just like, they're like meat on a wall.
Interesting.
Giant meat.
I do like the idea, though, that if you just take a caveman Spider-Man, it actually has, like, the sense of justice has no sort of preconceived notions to it. So you've got the Spider-Man effectively committing crimes by, you know, going and raiding a supermarket, taking all the food, distributing it to all the homeless people, and then the police are after him because he's like, but I've just given the food to the people.
Society.
It's from a hunter-gatherer society, so everyone gathers food and shares it. He's like, I found a source of food.
It's in here.
For some reason, food grows in these weird fruits.
In these cold boxes.
Yeah.
As he's just trying to down frozen sweet corn.
Here, everyone, come here, follow me. I'll show you how to harvest the food. And the security guards are trying to stop them.
Smashing the freezers.
And the police are coming up. He's like, no, you must be enemy. Hits him with a club.
Rival tribe try and take our food. Bonk.
I also like the idea that, you know, there is just this raw intelligence to this character.
He just gets it.
Which, like, unfortunately solves problems that are just unsolvable to modern people because of all their preconceived notions. And then also gets parts of it just wrong.
What, like the food and the homeless people thing?
Or just like, yeah, sees a system and is like, why? This doesn't make any sense. Look, just use this part. And everyone's like, we've just always done it the other way and never thought about it.
There's also some scope for something like a Greek hero Spider-Man. Of course, in this world, he would have been slaying... It's the Marvel universe. Like, Hydras probably exist. Sphinxes probably exist. You get the idea. Like, Hercules got bitten by a radioactive spider and killed the Nemean lion.
I don't think he needs it.
Oh, sorry, Heracles, because I said Greek.
No. Zeus turned into a spider and got laid.
Oh, yeah, that's perfect.
That does make more sense.
Come on, got laid with a human woman.
And then the demigod that was born is the Spider-Man.
I was on board until it was Zeus turns into a spider.
There was just this weaver. There was a spinner.
Peter Parkopolis.
Petercles.
Petercles Parkopolis.
Parkolopodus.
All right, this is going well.
Yeah, we're good at this.
So yeah, this lady who's just like a spinner by profession, Zeus is like, I'll show her how to spin. Turns into a spider, is like, seduced. She's like, what can I do? It's a god.
It's a very different version of the arachnophobes.
It's a god, I better just play his game or I'm dead.
Yeah, I'm into spiders, I guess. Oh yeah, Zeus never misses. I really understand women, says Zeus.
You just pick their favourite animal.
This is just the weird story of what different animals Zeus can be as he progresses to get worse and worse.
Yeah.
He did it as a swan.
He did it as a golden shower.
Yeah, that was the next one on the list.
Yeah, and I think Spider's a whole new level.
Zeus, not a great guy.
No.
I like the flavour of Zeus where it's not necessarily malicious, but he's just so misunderstanding of like why he thinks he's successful. And everyone's just like, it's a celebrity, sure, I'm gonna do whatever weird thing they're into. Like, yeah, that sounds cool.
Anyway, back onto Spider-Man rather than Greek myth, but Spider-Man in Greek myth.
Yeah.
We have a Spider-Man who's killed the Lernaean Hydra, the Nemean lion, whatever, you get the idea, gone on his 12 quests, or 10 quests plus 2. I don't know why I'm specifically sticking to Heracles, but here we are.
Yeah, you could have gone Spider-Nisus, but instead you went Spider-Cleese.
Spy-Dionysus just gets drunk all the time.
And then he gets pulled across the Spider-Verse into our world, and like he's got his equipment with him. I'm trying to work out, like, I guess his mum spun him some ropes that he used to swing from or whatever, because you said she was a spinner.
Yeah, I guess he could just have like long whip-like ropes that he uses.
Grappling hooks.
Yeah, he gets upgraded by the people he makes friends with to get, web shooters or whatever, and he's like a sort of, you know how Spider-Man is normally sort of slender and lithe and everything? This guy is big and chunky and strong and wearing a bronze breastplate over the top of his Spider-Man uniform.
He can't be like a spider centaur with a bronze breastplate.
Oh no!
Where did the bottom half of a horse come from?
I just thought Swole Spider-Man's a great pitch, and you went Centaur.
Like, this is Greek mythology. Like like a Drider. Like a D&D Drider with an absolutely buff upper body of a human man.
I'm trying to get away from body horror. What are you doing?
Is a centaur body horror to you?
No, but a spider centaur is.
That's just because you don't like spiders. It's not body horror. That's just spider horror.
It's just a regular centaur with 8 legs.
Oh,
Now
mate.
that's got legs.
Oh, mate.
That's just Sleipnir. Wait, no, that's Norse mythology. You went to the wrong one.
Oh, you're right. All right, 6 legs and 2 arms, therefore 8 limbs in total.
Right, got it, yeah.
Isn't Sleipnir 6-legged?
I thought it was 8-legged.
Maybe. Is Sleipnir an octopus? Did they just not know what an octopus was?
Odin riding an octopus, yeah.
They probably didn't know what an octopus was. That's accurate.
Right, folks.
Right, Greek hero Spider-Man / caveman Spider-Man / another era that you think would be cool Spider-Man, a knight.
Maybe a dinosaur.
The pitches come up with something to do with time.
Yeah,
Insert period of history Spider-Man here.
all of these ones we've talked about, all of them.
Spider-Man, it's about time.
We need to get this answer to Sony within the next 5 minutes. So far, we just get Tobey Maguire.
I pitched Tobey Maguire about 4 times, I think.
Yes. We then had Man Spider, the poor tortured soul that is slowly becoming a monster.
Voiced by Tobey Maguire.
Spider Mario
Yahoo!
coming in hot. Spiders Man.
Also, Spider Mario wears boots on every leg.
I always knew you were going to bring the horrible ones.
It's just like, literally, grotesque horror is any solution. Mine is Super Mario jumping around. You're like, oh, you've really bought a gross one here, man.
And a lot of regular real-world spiders, which is also, some people have phobias about, but isn't that weird?
No. I realised that the way I dealt with Man Spider was I'd already purged it from my memory. So, moving on, Spider Goblin in his many reincarnations and ahistorical Spider-Man.
Yes, also someone did mention during the historical Spider-Man with gun, if that speaks out to you, you know.
I do love thing with gun. Right, I've thought about this for barely any time at all.
Excellent. Just the way we like it.
The answer that I think is the best one to add to the Spider-Verse should be Spider Mario, voiced by Tobey Maguire.
Yes.
Wait a second.
For the sole reason, the idea that a Spider-Man turns up and just curb stomps people along the way is truly a beautiful image.
It was an unreasonably good mashup of films.
I'm surprised at how well it lined up. I'll give you that.
Yeah.
Although, does this mean that also they're going to add Spider Wario, Spider Waluigi, Spider Luigi?
Oh, good.
Wasp Spider, Rio.
Oh, that's how you bring Man Spider into it. It's Wasp Spider.
Wasp Spider-Man is just the... Yes, oh, so good, but also yellow.
Oh, that is...
Just wearing a yellow hat.
Yeah,
Just
yeah,
a
yeah,
monstrous spider wearing a yellow hat.
Absolutely.
Right, congratulations, Bear. Your prize
Oh, prizes!
is going to be a photo of Spider-Man on your desk by Monday.
Nice!
Yes! Oh, you fit it in! The joke I've been making off air this whole time.
And on air.
Have I?
You've been trying.
I've been trying to get it on air, and Paul has for me.
Well done.
Thanks for listening. If you want to keep up to date with everything we do, you can follow us on Twitter or on Facebook. And if you'd like to support us financially, you could send us a one-time donation on Ko-Fi, sign up for monthly donations on Patreon, or subscribe to us on Twitch if that's more your speed. Links to all of that will be in the show notes. Thanks again for listening, and we'll see you next time. Well, you'll see us. Well, not see, exactly. You get the idea. I did have a good time just thinking about the different weapons that Spider-Man could swing through New York using.
Lance gun.
I think Lance was my best pick.
Yes, Lance is very good.
Lance
Just a
is solid.
stun gun as well. Just
Swing
swing
gun.
down.
I was like about maces and flails and things like
A
just
dinosaur.
a knife. Just
Buster
a knife.
Sword.
Just a switchblade. He's like swinging down, fumbling with the
No,
switchblade.
that's the British. That's Spider-Man again. The British one.
No. The British Spider-Man is like a brick in a sock.
When we mentioned Upside Down Spider-Man just being in Australia, I was briefly going to get distracted by just a pitch of Australian Spider-Man. Of just like a guy just like, fuck!
He's known for being quippy, and instead of being quippy, he's just...
He's just swearing. I mean, the Australians are quippy, but with a lot of extra swears.
Just swears a lot over himself and making quips.
Nothing else is different. That's it. The one change is he swears a lot.
Get time.is up, you skank.
Nah, Australian Spider-Man has legs.